find something else that they enjoy because there are literally 400 choices over there right now.
Absolutely. But that's kind of like TV and that's kind of like media in general right now when, I don't get out as much as I used to go to the movies. I don't like it. I don't like sitting with people. I've said that 1,000 times. I'd rather watch it in my theater at home. But then I go look at all the movies that are released. I'm like, shit, I've never heard of 2/3 of these. And you start thinking, I'll look at them and think, okay, was this just a good movie that didn't get attention because it didn't have the marketing budget? And I didn't pay attention to it. Am I missing the best movie that's ever been created because it doesn't have the poster and the marketing that I expect? So I don't know. It's hard in this day and age when you sit there and you try to watch as much as I think the three of us try to watch. And how do you find the good things? I guess that's the Scorsese method. We're going to have to experience some shit to get to the good.
Well, that's why when universally people tell me that something is good, like, oh, you like Dark Crystal? Have you seen this thing? This is really, really good. Yeah. You're making a reference to this. I was expecting big things because we have a lot of similar likes. Because I can't watch everything that's new streaming as a television show on Netflix. I can't watch everything that's on Amazon. And so our audiences will filter that stuff for us by making recommendations.
True.
I was just kind of shocked by how much people told me that if you like Dark Crystal, have you seen this other thing? And I just was like, wow, I'm really underwhelmed. And it may have been because the two styles of shows are so different that I was just underimpressed.
I agree with that, and it makes me think of another thought I want to throw out. So I'm gonna start by, it's gonna sound like, and if this friend hears it, you're gonna think I'm bad mouthing. I don't intend that way, but I have a friend who will occasionally ping me on the phone. Need a new series? What am I watching? Well, hang on.
Why is that my job?
Yes, I'm a media slut, and I do spend the first part of my day when I'm letting stuff come in at work. I look at the trade papers and I read. I want to know what's out there. You can do the same thing. What I'm curious about, have either of you ever recommended something to somebody like that and they've come back and almost been indignant about how much they disliked it? Like they've asked you for a recommendation.
I'm sure that's happened before. I just can't think of anything off the top of my head.
This very friend, lover, she said to me, I'll ask you about shows and you don't respond. I'm like, well, because the last time I responded to you, you're like, yeah, that's not really good. I don't think you know what you're talking about. Well, okay. Well, I'm not really compelled to tell you what you can watch next, It's this weird thing where those of us that are like, I think the three of us are, get put in that position where if you don't connect with it, you somehow blame me instead of what we're saying, which is, I just didn't like it. I didn't think it was good. You can't treat it like that. It's almost that person's fault for putting you in the wrong path.
Yeah.
That's their fault, not ours.
But now we have Disney.
Oh, my God.
We have Apple.
And who just announced today? Was it Universal?
Universal's doing one as well.
Somebody did too, because then Variety had a whole write-up, and I didn't get a chance to read the whole article that they're calling it the streaming wars, and I do think this is going to happen. This is something that when Sean was working with Blockbuster and when Netflix started streaming, I remember asking you what y'all were doing to pursue it, and you said, we're looking into it, and I said, I guarantee you open it for him.
No, I'm sorry. I can't. I think I'm done after this. Sorry, guys.
Okay, this is for me.
Okay.
It's just for Richard. We're not making you drink anymore, brother. I promise.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So just the streaming stuff, I think that you're going to see a lot of those battle and dwindle down. I think we're eventually going to be there'll be a streaming service like Sling, and then you can buy the different libraries instead of going to each one and getting
the DC streaming service is trying to get folded in some of the HBO stuff that they're coming out, right? Yeah. That's already happening.
And Hulu and all that too.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that's pretty much it for today. We'll be back next week. I was trying to think if this was in between, but yes, we did not talk about Apes. This is in between. We'll be back next week with more minutes of Escape from the Planet of the Apes. Everybody have a great weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.